There's a lot of healing that needs to be done on the continent.
Polisi ni polisi tu. Hakuna ati sasa jueni dema tukienda huko ndio watakusikia. They are the ones who will tell you many times, ukifanywa shopping na bwana yako au kutuita.
Akanishika wali nikamwambia babe stop.
Manze, asante sana for joining us for another classic episode of the Wicked Edition. I'm your host, Dr. Kingori. We have a great show lined up for you. Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua this week gave the most reassuring statement to teachers regarding strikes.
In our term of office, there will be no strike because whatever issues we shall discuss and agree. Mimi ni mtu wenu. Mimi kama mko na wakili kwa serikali ya William Ruto, ni mimi niko hapa. Na mambo yenu itaharibika kwa hii serikali kama niko safari. Mambo yenu itaharibika kwa hii serikali kama nitakuwa kwa bafu. Na nikisikia inaharibika nitatoka kama niko na sabuni.
Refugee amesema mambo ya walimu ikiharibika hata akiwa kwa bafu atatoka na sabuni. In short, walimu wanafaa kwenda strike, Refugee akiwa kwa bafu ndio atoke na form. Thank you. And this is a very strategic statement, and Refugee is a very smart man because based on haters vile wanaongea, anajua vile kunaenda sahi, it's only teachers who can guarantee the Kenya Kwanza government a second and a third term. But then again, kama wewe ni mwalimu na uko kwa streets alafu una Refugee ametokea bila soap, hautarudi kazi? Anyway, moving on, Mokoroine MP John Kagusha has proposed a bill in parliament that seeks to make circumcision mandatory for all Kenyan men. So moving forward, hata kama hujapata kazi, serikali bado itapata kitu ya kukata. Yes. It's a noble initiative, and the MP makes justification the health reasons, and what most people wajaelewa ni how will it be enforced? Like, how will they make sure that the bill is successful? Which parastatal or ministry can ensure the success of such a bill? Is it the Ministry of Health? Ama waachie KRA? Waachie KRA juu KRA wako na experience ya kumake sure hakuna kitu hapa Kenya inaingia kama haijakatwa. Ama waachie Kenya Power juu ya experience ya kukatia stima kwa pole. But then this draft bill has drawn mixed reaction from a section of Kenyans, some viewing it as a misplaced priority. But if the bill goes through and then the president assents to it, Sunday utasikia haters wanasema ati ndio Zakayo amerudi kwa mti. But then you know what's funny about this circumcision thing is that the MP, the member of parliament who has proposed it, anaitwa John Kagusha. Let me not talk about John, but the second name Kagusha means the person who pulls. Anyway, before to endelea na show, please allow me to invite you to a very beautiful course, how you can use your Bonga points to be a blessing to our brothers and sisters who have been through some of the worst experiences. Our friends at UNHCR have partnered with Safaricom kwa campaign inaitwa Bonga for Life, which gives us a chance to put a smile on the faces of people who've gone through sexual and gender-based violence through this festive season, as in the faces of the victims or people who have gone through that kwa hii time ya Christmas. That's the theme of the campaign. The campaign is to provide support for our victims of SGBV, men and women who've been forced to flee their homes juu ya war. Maze, hakuna bonga points zako ya expire, yet you can spare kidogo and come through for humanity. And here's how to go about it. Ni very, very simple steps. Enda kwa simu yako, just dial *126#, select lipa na bonga points, enda kwa pay bill, and then the business number is 329378. Alafu account number weka Wicked Edition so that we can be able to track the feedback ama the contributions from members of the Wicked Edition family. Any amount yenye utafeel roho yako imekubless ama what your Bonga points can accommodate, alafu unaweka your M-Pesa pin, and I'll share more details on that, and let's hope tunaweza come together and do something for humanity. So nita share more information. In other news, India is set to import cheetahs from Kenya after advancing us, like Kenya, a soft loan of 38 billion. Alafu utasikia haters wakisema the Kenyan government cannot deliver something fast. Watapeana cheaters, and I hope India is very specific on the kind of cheaters they need. Wasijipate wamepelekewa mafisi, unajua? Zinakuanga same color. And I think it's a brilliant idea for foreign exchange, and I think it should be expounded. We don't have to wait for December until tourists visit the country to see animals. We can take the animals to them. Mmesikia Kipchoge amepeleka swara Indonesia. Na mheshimiwa Millicent ndio amepeleka ndovu Brazil. The parks are actually empty. Huko labda uende uone nyuki. Unaweza pata by the hata the parks were empty. The parks were free during Jamhuri, ndio wa Kenya waone burukenge one last time before msikie zimepelekwa Haiti. And speaking of exports, President William Ruto has been very vocal on labor export. As we speak, there's a plan to send 1,500 agriculture workers to Israel. Alafu there's a deal where the German government is set to accept over 200,000 Kenyan immigrants for employment opportunities. That's very good vibes. I think the president is killing two birds with one stone, more than two birds with one stone, because moving forward, he will not be traveling outside the country alone. The president is in Singapore with 100,000 others. And in 10 years, Nuzapatata Kenya is empty. Tukwetu tunakuja kupiga kura, alafu we go back to build the country from outside. Anyway, tukiwa huko outside the country, in Uganda, a 60-year-old man was this week arrested for showing up at an introduction ceremony empty-handed. Umse alienda rurasho yake bila kitu. Despite a commitment he had made that he would bring a few cows and goats. Mse aliingia hivi akaulizwa, wapi mbuzi bwana?
Man, I'm the goat. Everybody watch out. Man, I'm the goat. I'm the goat. Man, I'm the goat. May I punch it?
Mazo alimshika akalala ndani basi vile alikuwa amepanga. Now we have a great show lined up for you. We have a great show lined up for you, Maze. One of our guests is a friend of the show, one of the funniest comedians in Kenya, and I know you can back me up on this, and I can put this on everything I love. He's here to share the good vibes with us. One more time, comedian YY is in the house. Yes. Hey, Maze. Very good vibes, and you are my witnesses. Mnajua nasema ukweli. Alafu leo anatupigia story interesting sana kama iko na highlight ya vile siku moja karibu akuwe kidnapped hapo Zimmerman Mazi, and how he saved himself. Inakuanga movie. Very, very interesting. Our other guest was the first Miss India Kenya, a celebrated media personality. She is a communication trainer and overall Miss Good Vibes. Pinky Ghelani is in the house. Yeah. Nabado. Here for the second time, Pia is a champion for women rights. She is a gender-based violence survivor who now champions a cause helping people going through the experience or who have gone through the experience, and a legit advocate of turning lemons into lemonades. Njeri Wa Migwi is in the house. Hey, Wajo. Show ya leo ni nzito sana, so please maze usiende mahali, don't go anywhere. Tuendelee na hii story on the other end of this short commercial break. See you in a bit. Yeah, manze, welcome back to the weekend edition. I'm your host, Dr. Kingori. Show nzito sana kama kawaida, but this is on another level. Our guests on set are legends in their own level, na tutaenda pole na introduction. Kuna generation inajua, one of our guests, Pinky Ghelani, walikuwa na rule the airwaves. Wao ndio kusema still relevant to date, doing the most. Mimi na yeye ni supporters wa UNHCR, and part of the conversation ya leo ties to that in some way, and we hope you will enjoy what we have for you tonight. Familia Weekend Edition, wale wanajua mnajua YY is a friend of the show. Always good vibes when he comes on. Alafu you've also seen our episode featuring Njeri Wa Migwi, but today we come together in solidarity for a topic that we feel is timely and we feel that should be impactful wase wakisikiza. Our guest Pinky Ghelani, YY comedian, and Njeri Wa Migwi are in the house. Karibu sana. Pinky, karibu.
Asante.
We hope you will also be a friend of the show. Come
Always.
tena na tena tukiendelea.
For sure.
Sindio?
But we don't know your first name, so do we just call you Daktari?
Yeah, Daktari. It's stress actually. Stress it.
Okay.
Stress it. Any way we can gain legitimacy.
All right.
Yeah, Daktari.
Gotcha.
That's fine.
I gotcha.
Aya, wazi. Karibu sana, Jakabuda.
Asante.
Karibu Njeri.
Thank you.
So now, the reason why I was very, very excited to bring YY on the show is we have a very sensitive topic kwa show ya leo. gender-based violence. But then his experience, and I thank you for actually agreeing to come share the story with people. It could save a life uko inje. It's about how he was almost kidnapped and how his life got saved. And I can't tell the story bila kuyaribu. So karibu sana. Na hiyo day nini ilikuwa ina happen? Ulikuwa umechelewa wapi?
Nilikuwa naishi Kahawa West.
Yes.
So there used to be a comedy club at a club known as I Club.
Yes.
Every Wednesdays.
Yes.
So on this particular day, I didn't have a car yet.
Yes.
So nilikuwa nangoja mat. Ngoja mat kitu around 9 something o'clock because the show used to begin from 10.
Yes.
Running late. So kagari kakastop ka Probox of a very serious security company in Kenya.
Yes.
Major.
Yes.
Okay. Brand. Custom kasema hii ni sawa, hii sasa nita save hapa. Akanisimamia nikaingia.
Yes.
So kuingia niko tu sawa, nimekaa mbele. It's just okay, things we moving, tunapita mahali inaitwa Maziwa, and then some women wakatry kumstopisha, kuomba pia lift because magari hazikuwa, zilikuwa moja.
Yes.
Akasema hii gari yangu ibebangi wanawake. Unajua kale kasa kafuke.
Driver amekataa kupea madem lift but kubeba.
But mimi amenibeba.
Yes.
Ai. So tunaenda tukiapproach mahali zima man. Akachukua mkono wake akaniwekea wapi?
Kwa mapaja.
Kwa mapaja.
Yes.
Hey Buddha, the discomfort. And then umse anawafua security company, so anaweza kuwa na rungu, anaweza like ako equipped, anaweza deal na wewe akiamua. So you have to tread very carefully.
Yes.
So kwa hapo nikajifanya ni kama nataka kujifanya ni kama ujamaa juu kitu amedu.
Yes.
So nikafanya nini? Nikajisongesha hivi. Naye akaiadjust. Akaiweka sasa vizuri sasa.
Yes.
Si kwa bahati mbaya nilikuwa najua kitu nadu. So Buda kawoka kamenipiga hapo. Ujamaa ko tu serious sasa. Ameanza kunishika. Ukweli. Sijui nifanye nini. Tukafika mahali hapo Zimmerman. No, not Zimmerman. Tukafika Roysambu. Tukafika hapo mahali Roysambu akaweka hazard. Kapaka ndio barabara. Kuna kwa na ka fulani kana kwa hapo Roysambu. Kasimamisha gari hapo. Kaeka hapo. Mbali kidogo sasa mahali sasa ni kama sasa anataka kuua nyumba sasa. Hey. Ndugu yangu nikajiuliza sasa hii situation natokaje? So nika have to play card ya. Now I have to play along to get out of this situation. Because now if you can't beat them, join them.
Yes.
So nikaanza kumuita. Akanishika wali nikamwambia babe stop. Bro, this is a true story. Na unakumbuka ile time gani kuambia story? Nilikuja kwanza
Najua.
Because of the trauma that I had.
Yes.
So akaona nyewe niko wapi?
Ndani.
Niko ndani. So sijui kama niko totally safe, nikamwambia babe. So acha nichukue kitu hapo kwa duka and then tuendelee na
safari.
Naye kama kwa gentleman sasa ati anakuwa gentleman ndio nirudi.
Beba ende akam.
Manzi yake vile alifungwa mlango yani. Hata ile comedy nilishindwa kuperform hiyo siku. Nilishindwa kuenda I Club. And I was so traumatized. Nikajiuliza how many situations like this when you say ujipata and those things actually happen.
People feel that cases of violence against men are not actioned. Do you feel like some men decide to act because they don't want to look bad, which spikes the cases of violence against each other, either men or women?
Let me say this.
Yes.
And just tell YY something. As somebody who sees like 5 to 10 cases every day of gender-based violence.
Yes.
Polisi ni polisi tu. Hakuna ati sasa jueni dema tukienda huko ndio watakusikia. They are the ones who will tell you many times, ukifanywa shopping na bwana yako au kutuita. So the way we treat GBV in this country is very much we treat it very casually. So it's a problem. That's one. 2, in my case, when we have a case of a man, he garners more sympathy than women. Kwanza women are the ones who are kai mpaka mpaka they will even DM me kama ako single, imagine ni sawa naweza mchukua, mpaka I'm like he's a victim, he's been beaten by another wife and you want to be the wife. Like I don't get this.
As in have people having crush on victims?
Yes, because it's a man. Like wanamsikililia woye, kuna ile way. It's just that men don't know this. When you show like your vulnerability, like women out here, they are willing to mother you, my friend. Umechelewa uko ukisema hivyo. I am serious, by the way.
That's why
when I report a case of a man, the kind of sympathy I see for him, I don't see that for women, because watu wamezoea kuwa na mademu chapwa. Manza kwanza kuelewa?
Yeah.
It's different. When it's a child, of course, the sympathy is very high. When it's a man, because men don't come out often, so unapata watu wako na weye mob. You know, like, why is he being beaten? Like, I can make him a good wife. Like, kuna kale kahuruma juu ni mbaba. Okay. And I think the thing the men forget is that when you're vulnerable, there are people who, that is something that they're attracted to.
Ni kahuruma ama ni attraction to a man who is not a threat?
Sasa mi sijui hapo.
Kwa hiyo kitu wanaume pia ifanyanga. Nani anapiga demu rembo hivi?
Usiona? Kunako kakitu like una feel, alafu pia the more attractive you are, obviously, the more unapata ka sympathy pia kaingi. Like huo demu ni msupu, mtu anaweza mchapa. Unaanza, wow, that's a man, like, you know. So unaanza kuget. So there's all those circumstances that when you look at actually create a casualness around GBV, which should not be there, because no one should be beating the other. There is a way you do not want, people don't expect victims to look like. Like utapata, uo dem, mbona uo dem ni msupu, mbona anachapwa. Uo chali mbona ana, yani, you start to see. And then there are people who, you will see their sympathy marks go down because they look like a victim. And the same sympathy you will have for a chokora who has been raped, and say somebody like Pinky is different. And that is just how society operates. Because why is Pinky? Yes, it is the truth. Because how many women you pass here and you've never even thought to ask them the circumstances of what happened to them for them to have a baby. A 14-year-old on this street holding a baby who has been raped because you're 14, why are you having a baby? As in, I have rescued chokora, nakumbuka, let me not put their name out here. Alikuwa amerepiwa hapa na watchman ni chokora na akadampiwa pale chini. Mimi nilienda kumtoa karibu na ile rive. People thought she was dead. Then they brought her to us. And when I listened to her story, she was 15. She had already been raped when she was 13, got twins, kanjo akachukua twins wake na wakadisappear. And that's how her children were stolen, okay? And all that circumstance. And now to tie this in with her work, the work you guys do with refugees, I get a lot of cases from refugees because our office is iko huko kwa mtaa, ndio? And we have a lot of people from Congo, refugees from Congo. They do not know how to report because they are afraid, right? So they are afraid. So unapata hiyo fear pia. Because I'm a refugee, this is not my country. Naenda wapi? Sina ID. Nikienda kwa polisi, what's the first thing you asked when you're reporting?
Where is your ID?
Thank you. So can you report? So we take advantage of them because we know their circumstances. Again, that goes back to the circumstances of how you look, how you live, where you live, also determines the kind of violence that will be meted to you by society. So we had a case, I was actually telling Pinky just as we were sitting, where a woman's child was raped. This child was 5, and the landlord was taking advantage, and he was raping this child, and I don't know whether I can say this on TV, but anally, and you know, a 5-year-old. So this woman did not know kama anaweza peleka mtoto hospitali. By the time somebody brought her to our office, this child alikuwa ameoza. Do you understand? So I'm trying to explain to you how this works. This child had worms coming out of her. It's a refugee child. Nobody was playing with the child because the child was smelling. Do you start to see how this all builds up?
Yeah. Do you see any ray of hope in terms of the interventions that are in place, especially when you hear cases of people from outside the country going through? Because I believe you visited the camps, the options people have. Do you see any ray of hope?
Until we make enough noise about it, no. Until we start screaming about it, no. Unfortunately, I mean, you know, they say raise your voice even if it shakes, and raise your voice because the generations who come after us shouldn't ask where did their voice get lost, but we're not shouting enough about it. as you've rightly heard, we're so casual about this. We're so casual about this in everything. I mean, what we've heard today should make you so angry. It should make you so upset. And it's just one case of a young refugee girl that we've heard about, amongst other. But that's what's sticking in my mind, and it's really disturbing. Are we angry enough, or do we have so many problems that we can't be angry about this? Yes, when you say ray of hope, you know, it's something like Safaricom coming in and supporting UNHCR by saying, okay, look, we'll give you our Bonga points, and you can donate your Bonga points, and they'll go towards medical assistance and psychosocial assistance. But what else are we doing as society? Are we just shrugging our shoulders? Are we saying, okay, that's not my problem, I have other things that I'm dealing with? Until we really, really, you know, start making enough noise about it, I don't see a ray of hope. And who's going to make the noise? It's you and me and, you know, the people sitting here today.
Yeah.
How much noise will we make, and who will listen?
Men, when it comes to violence kwa relationship, you actually said it. Like, if umemari mtu na anaweza kukuvaa, like if your wife can beat you up, it is not violence, it is comedy.
Actually, no.
Sindio, when you were young kabisa, what did you think about mse anapigwa na wife?
What I thought about mse anapigwa na wife?
Yes.
In fact, back in the days, it was very normal, especially in the village.
Yes.
Like, kila siku unasikia tu nani anapigwa, alafu akishapigwa ndio yule anawasha moto pale. Like, ulikuwa ni jamaa kienda tu avute lewe tu kidogo ni hivyo. So even I also grew up watch my dad beat up my mother. Like, it was very normal. Si ati once, alafu after 6 months, and then maybe next year, maybe useme hata kama amesema maybe ati kuna issue limpresana, like ilikuwa very consistent. Ile ambako unaingilia ndani kama mtoi, but there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
Unaona? So when you talk about your story ya wanaume, so una vile umention wasa wamecheka.
Yes, yes.
But if you say the same statement ukasema dem alikuwa anapigwa, there would be silence. Okay?
Yes.
Because I also think tumemekiwa to believe wanaume are stronger, wanaume are supposed to endure, wanaume are supposed to go through some kind of thing. And I think that is why maybe pia sometimes wanaume wanajipata place yenyewe wanataka kufanya vitu zingine because wana feel already wako short-changed in some aspect. There's a guy called Tumbili alisema vile alikuwa anachapwa na bibi kila siku, ameweka mpaka video na nini. Nothing actually happened. Nothing. If it was a woman, okay? If it was a woman, sometimes hata polisi wangojangi hata evidence, maybe hata kama ni uongo, but utajibia hiyo uongo wapi?
Mbele.
Hiyo mbele. There's a time mimi nilivaliwango na nini. So you get the point. Hey. That's exactly what happens.
There's a lot of healing that needs to be done on the continent. And that's why we are seeing the misalignment or disalignment, I forget the word. That's why we're seeing everything we're seeing. Whether it's the violence, the wars, the sexual assaults. There's a lot that needs to be treated, and we're refusing to look at our problems. There's a lot of toxic masculinity on the continent as well.
Yes.
And you know, it's a power struggle, and we need to be able to say, okay, these are our issues, and there are many.
Okay.
But it's unpeeling, unlayering, and being able to heal on all those levels that we'll now be able to understand where the root cause of everything is. Okay.
And in terms of healing, by the way, doing something for what is going on, we have a pending conversation hapa. We'll finish that. There is something you can do for the situation that people are going through right now. Pinky and I, and thank by extension, YY and Njeri are here because we support a cause of doing something about it. I have to make this clear. In her own capacity, Njeri does this on a daily basis, like dealing with victims of GBV, on her page, Facebook page, Njeri Wa Migwi. She deals with that. And again, I repeat, in her capacity, she has been doing the most. That's her life. Every day, dealing with these cases and solving them. Please check out her page. Now, if you can, please support her cause in every possible way, in every little way that the Lord has made it possible for you. Pinky and I have been with UNHCR on an engagement. You're doing something for refugees. You've had some of the experiences these people go through. They don't even know where to report. And during this festive season is why UNHCR has partnered with Safaricom for the Bonga for Life campaign. And you can do something in your capacity here. Just dial *126#, select Lipa na Bonga points, select pay bill, text the business number, which is 329378. Once you text that, itakupatia option ya account number. Just write the Wicked Edition so that we can consolidate tujue niaje the Wicked Edition family wamecontribute, and that will go a long way. It's not small. Ile Bonga points uko nayo, it will go a long way to come through for families and people who are going through hizo experiences as at now. I want to give a special thank you before we finalize on this conversation to YY. He's a personal friend for the longest time. He's one of the guests who's been on this show the most times and always good vibes. Him sitting here, he has donated his time to actually share his experience to support this cause coming through for refugees. Mpigeni makofi mazi. Thank you. Thank you mazi. I can't thank you enough, especially knowing the journey yenye mimi nayo tumekuwa nayo. You being here today is a very, very big thank you. He's a comedian. Kama ujui YY, welcome to Kenya. And if not for real, by the way, check him out. He's an independent content producer, one of the finest, and I say that na vile nisema, I can bet that on everything I love. Wapi makofi ya guest wetu leo? Asante sana. You guys have shared invaluable information on gender-based violence and also offered solution on how it can be done. You watching us at home, there's something you can do. Something very simple. Usiwache Bonga points zako zi-expire. Usiwache Bonga points zako zi-expire, and it can go a long way to come through for someone suffering right now, someone both psychologically, someone who's gone through these experiences. Tafadhali, as we cross the year, this festive season, ingia tu pale kwa dial *126#, select Lipa na M-Pesa. This is for the Bonga for Life campaign. *126#, select pay bill, chagua finya pay bill, Lipa na Bonga points, alafu the business number is 329378. That's the business number. Iko hapa kwa screen, 329378. Account number weka the Wicked Edition, ndio tuweze kutrack. Just by that gesture, which you may think ni kidogo, it'll go a long way to coming through for someone going through these experiences. Inaweza kosa kusolve, but I can guarantee you it goes a long way. Again, I can't thank you enough for saying. Pigieni makofi tena mazi. Asante sana. Our studio audience, by the way, asanteni sana for the good vibes. Asanteni pia for kukuja, kuspare your time, donating this segment of your life to spend your time with us. Na wewe pia mwenye unawatch kutoka home, for sparing your time, na pia for contributing through the Bonga for Life campaign. Asante sana. That's it for the Wicked Edition. See you next week. My name is Dr. Kingori.